What if I told you yesterday Courtroom showdown just dropped a bombshell straight from Omoyele Sowore himself at the ongoing saga of Nnamdi Kanu? In the next few seconds, we will unpack shocking Courtroom revelations, jaw-dropping exchange, and why this could change everything for Kanu's detention. Stay tuned because this is a must-see video.
There's an Igbo problem in Nigeria. That's why they're holding Nnamdi Kanu.
What's your take on
for asking
Nnamdi Kanu's perpetual detention?
And then we are rehabilitating Boko Haram commanders. He said 120,000 of them have surrendered with foreign currency in their hand. And you have rehabilitated them. But one guy who says, oh, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria, you are holding him perpetually, using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. And everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just narrated.
The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything has been done after that. We know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. That is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos where they are.
Yes, so no, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interests, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of, you can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's easier for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessmen. You say, can't you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulate people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. It's easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate. Owned
by being an Igbo man.
Of course. That's the truth. That's why you were saying, oh, you are Yoruba man. If, based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. But I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo.
Okay.
But we are the Ijo-speaking Yorubas. We are the Yoruba-speaking Ijos in Ondo State.
Okay.
So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area?
No, it's Ilaje. So we're next to Ilajes.
Okay.
But my great-grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Sowore is named after is in Ijebu waterside. Because that's how they came. So, but, I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry on, so you have to be a Yoruba man. And then it was all.
So we've had
Here comes one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Hutsi Tutsi thing after years of genocide. Are you
sure they managed it?
Well, to a reasonable extent.
They manage it through genocide. And Nigeria
after
also,
genocide management.
So this is what you should understand.
Okay.
Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide. 4 million Igbos.
I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But
the problem
I have, sometimes even with some of our people, is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used third commando to massacre Igbos. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that, they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu. And I say, so be it. Because I know that I'm supporting justice. And I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. Yeah, I said something. I would like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were the victims. Now they are forgiving the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth of this country.
That's why I say you are preaching to the choir. It's not, Igbos are not only in Nigeria, they're all over the world. I went to Alabama in the US, and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma?
Yeah.
It's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
Exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely that's what you find in every community in the US. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru Ngala after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? He said, well, somebody has to treat them. He was that courageous enough to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay. All right. Yes. So let's move
because nobody wants to hear the truth. And when you say, if somebody is watching me and get out of this, Sowore, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of their existence through persecution in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through Landmark or Nnamdi Kanu or, look, I told a story, I think it was on a Honest Punch, that in this country, there was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going east.
Do you think that's what's happening in the East right now? Speaking about militarization of the East.
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
Okay. So let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately also, the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, one of the media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the Southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted. He and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who dehumanized them,
Yeah.
told them to lie on the floor. In fact, told them they were going to shoot at them.
Exactly.
Told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB?
Exactly.
But they were killed by military. Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
These guys are burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the east, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you are automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The governor in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the east. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, bandits havens.
Dangerous points.
Dangerous points. And there will be no policeman or army on the way.
Okay.
But you cannot travel in the east today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately,
that
is what it is. Before we leave,
Yes.
can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
You have we have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a repetition of speaking truth to power. Sowore, do you fear for your life?
It's too late. My life had been taken several times, to the point that all I'm dedicated to is living my life one day at a time. And the reason is this. When I was leaving the university, I did not know, I left the university at the age of 24, 25. I did not know that I would make it up to 30. So I used to say at that time that I was living on borrowed times. I'm 54 now. If I died today and an autopsy is performed on me, they will find the heart of a 90-year-old man inside my body, because it's been a lot. My heart has carried a lot of pain and anguish, but I've carried on, and as a result, I cannot be afraid of my shadows when people who didn't even do half of what I've done have died of preventable diseases, some malaria. So people like me are lucky. And if you look at the life expectancy of a Nigerian man, I think it's now
50 something, 56,
54.
56.
So I've lived a few months above that. I'm going to be 55 in February. I've tried.
You're not going anywhere yet. Well, before you go, before you start going where you want to go to, let's look at 2027. There's been lots of, chess playing here and there against 2027, and then coalition of, some people are already saying that there is no way anybody can beat Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in any election, irrespective of his performance.
No,
if they don't come together. What do you think is the way forward for Nigeria?
You can beat Tinubu in an election, but you cannot beat him in his election, and that's what they are planning. They are not going to have another election.
Are you serious?
Yes, they're not.
How do you mean?
Well, let's start from here. Who conducts the election? INEC. Right? Go and find out how many federal electoral commissioners were appointed by Tinubu who are APC card-carrying members to replace the ones that are retired. Almost, infinite. Did you know that Bola Tinubu appointed 11 Supreme Court justices since he came to power? These two bodies.
So there is no hope in Nigeria will continue like this?
Well, if you don't want to continue like this, make it very clear that we can't continue like this. And that has to happen now.
What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with Sowore that the judiciary has failed? Is Nnamdi Kanu detention still about justice or something darker, more political? Drop your opinion in the comment section right now. Don't hold back. Let's flood the comment section with the one hashtag justice for Kanu. If you believe enough is enough, don't forget to like this video so more Nigeria can see what the mainstream media is hiding. And if you haven't already subscribed, turn on notification because we are not done exposing the truth. Omoyele Sowore stood there what many are too afraid to say, that Nnamdi Kanu's detention is not just unlawful, it is a betrayal by the system, a betrayal by silence, and yet each court date passes, each motion denied, and the man at the center of it all remains locked away. But here is the truth: they can silence one voice, but they can't silence all of us. This is not just Kanu fight, it is a fight for transparency, for justice, and for every Nigerian who still believe in truth. So stand with us, share this video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now. Until next time, stay informed, stay awake, and never stop demanding justice.